Hey guys, this is Ronnie. I'm doing a new video. This is my first video I'm doing. This is a gun review. I'm going to talk about the HS2000 or the Springfield XD, made by I forgot who they were. Made by IM, but these are really Springfield XDs. I don't have the actual IM HS2000s, but here they are right here in the book. They were imported to the United States back in the late 90s and up to the early 2000s before Springfield Armory took them over. Um, but this is my new recent edition, the Springfield XDS 3.345. This is like a 5-shot, but I also have a 6-shot magazine right here, which has got like at a bottom plate. So actually, and you could put it right here, so it could make it much more, have more of a grip than the regular version. So you can tell the difference. This is a Springfield XD 9mm. This has a 16 round plus 7. Okay, let's get focused. 9mm. It's the only one I got so far. This is my first pistol I got. I have been firing it. It's mostly my use this for my target pistol. Sorry about that. So how do I think of these pistols so far? Personally, I really enjoyed the XD series. I fell in love with the pistols back. I fell in love with the pistols a few years ago, but I always been wanting to get one, but I was kind of like hesitant and procrastinating about them, along with other firearms. I've been wanting to get into. I've been studying about firearms for many years, but for a long time, um, I've been, like I said, I've been hesitant. I just didn't really have the money for them. It was just until this year I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, this year I went down to the bullet hole and I tried out uh, a Bushmaster ACR rifle, and I tried out a XDM, which is different from the XD. They have different magazines. I do not have an XDM. So, but after I finished firing the XD, when I finished the XDM, I seen that this pistol was on sale. Was not on sale. I seen it used, and I bought it. I actually bought the pistol. Well, a friend of mine. I'm sorry, just my mind's all over the place. A friend of mine was at the gun shop and he gave me a discount. So actually, I bought this pistol. It was like $340, but I paid about $280 for it, which is really a good bargain. Um, but when I looked at the pistol, it was hardly ever used. I really didn't have to clean it, but I did clean it once. I got some of the carbon off if anybody was using it. Um, but um, But the thing compared to the XD, um, compared to the XD and XDM, um, they're kind of vastly well, they're not. They're pretty much the same, except like they said, with the exception of the magazines. The magazines are kind of get like a little wider up here or something. They're like different, and they carry more rounds. Um, but like us, put it in straight on this time. But but for some reason, when I fired XDM and stuff compared to the XD, this one had lesser recoil than the XDM for some reason, and I kind of really enjoyed that. Um, but So, um, but after I picked it up, fired it a few times, took it home, cleaned it, really enjoyed it. Um, but what is the XDM? I mean, what is the XD? What is the HS2000? Well, the HS2000 is made in Croatia. A lot of people think the Springfield XD is made in the United States. That's far from the truth. It's made in Croatia. Croatia. Cannot pronounce that word to save my life. I'm just waiting for the autofocus. Plus, I got the lighting in the background, but it will say "Made in Croatia" on that logo right there in the bottom. For some reason, the autofocus don't want to get see it. But here's the inner IM metal right here, and here's the different variants of the HS2000. And unlike the HS, if you could tell from the HS2000, you could tell from with that logo. While this one has SAXD, SAXD. The other one, the older versions will have HS2000 on them. So the HS2000s are kind of more of a little rarer pistol. So if you find one, it's pretty much more of a collectible item. But it's still pretty much I don't know if they use the same magazines as it. I don't know. I've never really seen it. An HS2000. If I ever see one, I'm buying one though, because it's really considered a collectible pistol. This is the XDS, which is one of the newer versions. This is a 45 caliber. This is a 3.3, while unlike this is a 5.5 tactical. Well, five. No, this is a 5 tactical. But yeah, this is more of a carry and concealed firearm compared to this is like standard issue infantry pistol or used for law enforcement. So this is very popular for the you're in for civilians that are carrying firearms, carrying concealed. You could probably carry concealed this and stuff, but I would probably go for this and that. But you could, if you're in an open carry state and stuff. Nebraska right now is an open carry state. You could carry this, but I don't really recommend open carry for a number of reasons because it makes you. I just don't really. I agree with the open carry if you're in a small town, everybody knows who you are and stuff, or out there in the yard, your property. Yeah, I agree. But if you're out and about, I don't know. I'm too iffy about it. If I want to go, I'd rather carry concealed. I'd rather be in the shadows than be out there pretty much alerting everybody who I am and stuff like that. Because to be honest, I don't want to be a bullseye for anybody, a potential attacker. But I didn't. But sorry if I'm going off topic. That's just my opinion. But yeah, the XD. Croatia brought them over here to the United States back in the late '90s, like I was saying. It has been in service. It's a standard issue for the Croatian Army. It's been sold in Indonesia, Dominican Republic, Iraq. Probably wouldn't be surprised to see it in Syria because a lot of these weapons found their way into Syria. I wouldn't be surprised if these are also used by the Kurdish fighting the ISIS. They're all over the world now. A lot of people has these considered these as Glocks or knockoff Glocks, and kind of that's well. They also made an HS 95, which is pretty much based off the SIGs, the early SIG models, but they don't make those anymore. I know there's some in the civilian market, but they're pricey. But they do have some Glock features that you could even take. They got similar takedowns. Like for example, let me see. I'll show it to you guys in a second. Hold on, if I don't, let's see. Hold on real quick. I got a phone right now. I'm just trying to see if I can put it without shutting off the camera. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, if you see this, you check to see if it's not loaded. You go up here, fly this up, and well, sorry about that. Take it off, and hold on, I'll show you guys. Sorry. This is the. You take this off right here, and it shows the recoil and the barrel, the recoil spring. I'll take that out for a second. See, there's the recoil, and there's the spring, and pull out the barrel. That's the barrel. Yeah, and this is we got the trigger grooves right here. Right there. All that. Pretty much a polymer. But yeah, sorry for that. I got some pizza spice up here. I don't know why. But yeah, it's pretty easy. It's kind of like you could take it down with it's kind of like simple as taking it down as a Glock. Unlike this, where you got to use this, the assembly tool, what do they call it, slide. The Glock has these special buttons where you have to press down and you disassemble. But yeah, it's kind of easy. Kind of putting it right back together. Put that back in the spring. Hold on. I have to do this with two hands. I can't do it with one. Hold on real quick. Yep, see, and I put it back together. Then you take your pistol right here, and bottom part. Hold on, let me do this with two hands because it'll make it impossible on the gun. Now it's all back together. Always got to do a function check. Hold on. Yep, and it works pretty well. So it's really easy. It's an easy gun to disassemble. Probably like the Glock. You don't have to do any of the fancy hard stuff and everything. Like I know there's some complicated parts. I kind of failed to show it to you, but up there's like the firing pin up there in that special top where you have to take a punch to it. I heard the trigger could be kind of a pain in the ass to take apart to clean. But other than that, I heard it's a very easy gun. It's a very easy gun to clean. Also, one thing, the sights could be, even though I haven't replaced them, these are factory sights. I'm probably looking to replace them with the tritium sights one of these days, kind of similar to what this XDS has. I might do that in the near future, replace them with tritium sights. Oh yeah, one thing about the 40. Hold on real quick. Let's see. Hold on. one thing I also want to say about the let's just drop the magazine. Oops, sorry. Um, and you could do this with the Glock. And I believe in the Sig too, but it could fire without the magazine. See, watch. I don't have any rounds in it, so don't worry. So it can fire without a magazine. A Smith and Wesson doesn't do that. It's a safety mechanism. Um, so that's it could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing if you're in a situation where you hit the if you loaded it, but you hit the trigger button on accident. I mean, not the trigger button, but the magazine button. And if someone's coming up to you, you could pretty much fire the shot. Um, but um, what I want to say is it could be a bad thing because even if you got the magazine and if you pull the trigger, well, this is in disengaged right now. Well, it's already been pulled, but I gotta cock it again. Um, you don't want to you be thinking like, well, all the rounds are out and stuff like that. You just don't want to shoot yourself, so it's kind of a good thing not to do that. Another thing, I mean, or shoot someone else. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm going off topic. Like I said, my mind's out of place a little bit. So it's a good thing to be cautious when the magazine's out in cock it to get the round off because you don't want to shoot yourself or shoot someone else or shoot something. Another thing, like I said, same thing with this. You could do it with this pistol too. So yeah. Another thing I want to explain too about the XD, which some people don't really like about the XD pistols, is that they have a grip safety right here. A lot of people don't really like grip safeties. People don't really like grip safety. There's people who don't like safeties. There's also certain XD models, mostly the XD45s. There's like the tactical model like this version, but it's 45. They also have a safety lever too up here. That's only on the 45 variants, like the XD45. Well, this one lacks it. It's a 45, but the bigger 5-point tactical ones and stuff. I think even the 4.5s probably got this safety lever, but I don't think they do. I don't know. But this one lacks it. But some people don't like it because this doesn't have a magazine. It's already been cocked or it's already been shot. I mean, not shot, but like the trigger been pulled. So you have to pull it down and fire it like that. Unlike people with Glocks, they got that safety right here, this safety bar, and they can pull it. Because you try to do it like that, it won't fire. However, I kind of rather have the grip safety in my opinion because it's much more of a better safety option because you don't want to be like fire that round like from a Glock or anything, and yeah. So I'd kind of rather have that, and it's not that bad anyway. I don't know why people make it out of a big deal. But like I said, pretty good. Also, I want to show you something too on the XD, which I failed to show. I might have to recock it again. Hold on real quick. On the XD, you could also tell that's the firing pin right there is showing. It means it's cocked and ready to go. It's also got this bump right here, where it also indicates that it's ready to go up here. So, see, even though it's cocked, I can't fire it because I'm not on that grip. However, when I'm on that grip, got my hand around the grip, I could fire it. See, you hear it cocked. But yeah. But like I said, also just they're real. Sorry. But other than that, these are pretty good pistols. When I'm firing it, the recoil, there's hardly any recoil when I'm firing this. It's pretty good. Um, the sights are pretty good too on it. But even though it's a factory sight, they're really nice. Um, I really do highly recommend these pistols. Um, Also, one thing I kind of failed to forget, I forgot to tell you, there's also a rail system, like a little, kind of like a little plastic Pinkatini rail right here, where you can put your flashlights. You can put your flashlights and your laser, or you could put a foregrip on there. But if you do that, you pretty much just you'll have to file you have to get a tax stamp for that. You got to pay $5 for it because you then consider any other weapon. However, I don't know. I would recommend doing that because that's like pointless unless if you own a G18, I mean a Glock 18 or a Beretta 93R, stuff like that. That's a different story. Or even a CZ75, which are like for example, here I'll show you like that. It's like a CZ75. Um, but other than that, um, I don't know if you could put a knife on here because now there's like a popular thing that people is putting little knives and daggers on their pistols and stuff, mostly with Glocks. Never really seen it with XDs. Um, but so it's kind of pointless doing that anyway. Another thing I will say on about the XD9, even though this is the older version, they still make them. They don't make the 45 tactical model anymore. However, um, on the XD9, there is a threaded barrel. They released I think they have been out in the market, but they recently released a threaded barrel for the Tactical 5, and it has the where you can put a suppressor on it or a silencer, whatever you want to call it. So, so you pretty much could take it out and shoot it out, stuff like that, and be quiet about it. Well, not like super quiet and like they show in Hollywood movies, but reduce the sound. So yeah, there's a suppressor. I mean, like threaded barrel versions for this pistol. Um, there's probably gonna be thread. I don't know if there's threaded barrels for the XDS 9. I mean XDS 45. I won't have any plans to put a threaded barrel on this. This is more of a it's a carry and concealed firearm. I'm looking to get my carry and concealed license in the near future. I live in Nebraska, so you have to get the permit. I wish I could get the constitutional permit where you don't have to do all that BS. But yeah, you could put a suppressor, put lasers, lights, put a foregrip. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know. You probably could put a knife or a dagger on there, but what would be the point? Same with the foregrip. Um, but yeah, back on the foregrip, like I said, you have to get a tax stamp. It's considered any other weapon if you put a foregrip on here, so you had to get a $5 tax stamp for it. If you do it and put it on there and you don't have the tax stamp for it, then it's considered a federal crime and it's a felony. So you don't want to sit 10 years in prison and pay over $100,000 fine for them. So I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's like I said, it's fucking stupid. Um, but yeah, do I recommend this pistol? I sure do. It's a very good pistol. They're very popular. I've seen some law enforcement officers and security guards carrying this pistol. I was in Iowa the other day and I seen the Audubon County Sheriff's Department carrying some XDs. So these are very popular. Um, a lot of I see this gun's film. It's like one of the top. I think top four of the fire. I mean the primary pistols. You got Glock, SIGs, Smith and Wessons. Well, you got CZs too. So it's kind of like the top five um, of the polymer pistols. Well, then you had Beretta and stuff like that. There's a lot of pistol manufacturers, but most of these are like the top five of the Smith and Wessons and Glocks. A lot of people don't really like these pistols and stuff. well, not a lot, but a few people don't like them because one, it's not. Some people consider it a Glock copy. Some people don't like it because it's made in Croatia. So it's like a business deceiving, which is kind of stupid. If you look up here, if it autofocuses, you could say it's Croatian and stuff like that. But it's an awesome pistol. It's a well built pistol. Awesome. I never had any problems with it. Like I said, the people who has like they hate them is more like the fanboys. But other than that, I had never had any problems. Most people who has these pistol has XDs, they run pretty well. Um, I've heard a few issues with some people having problems with XDs, but most of them were the XDM models. But I really have never heard any people having any issues with the XD9 and stuff like that. I have yet to fire this, and I'm trying to figure out I know how to take that down, but that's a pain in the fucking ass to take this pistol down to show you. So I'll do a later video of this. This is my newest pistol I bought recently on the same day of the elections because I thought Hillary was gonna be as president, and I know everybody and their dog would be on the websites and down at the gun stores the next morning, like Black Friday, and would be snatching them like crazy. Especially since these carrying concealed pistols are very popular right now. So so I was like, you know what? And I really kind of wanted a 9mm version because I don't know, I love 45. I never really fired a 45, but I kind of like to lay that exclusively to the M1911s or 1911 series pistols. But oh well, I'm gonna keep this as mine. I'm gonna be training with it. I've been messing around with the holster with it, so I'm doing everything to learn more. So, like I said, I'm learning and beefing up my skills. Because, like I said, if you get a firearm, always learn how to fire it, learn how to use it. Another thing I would recommend, hold on, let's see. Another thing I would recommend if you're looking to train is get snap caps. You could put them on your magazines, like for example, doing this one-handed. Put it like this. It's a snap cap. You put it in your pistol, and you could cock it, and fire it. Won't fire the actual round. It'll just like make the cocking sound. I recommend doing that because you don't want to wear out the firing pin spring. So I recommend that. Then you could decock it and the round flies off. So yeah, highly recommended. You just slide it on, and you just decock it. Hold on real quick. And it's all ready to go. Then you just fire, and then you decock it. So it's kind of like that, and yeah, all ready to go. But yeah, like I said, I just brought these pistols out to show you guys. I don't usually keep them in the house because, well, I don't. Well, I don't. I usually. Well, I don't. But yeah, these are mostly. This is my plinker right here, and this will be my self-defense. So I'll be carrying this in the near future when I get my CCW license. And yeah. Another reason I'm also got pistols and two because I'm also learning. I'm getting in the career field where I need to be trained to use firearms, and also like I said, like criminal justice I'm taking right now. So, but I'm not trying to be a cop or anything in law enforcement. I'm trying to be a defense or intelligence analyst. But like I was saying, if I don't get into that career field, I might just do something else. But other than that, that's the only thing I can say about these pistols. There's less recoil. They work very well. They're easy to take down. They work wonderfully. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say about it. I highly recommend them and stuff. I have yet to fire this. I'm gonna give a later review of this. I probably won't do it till next month. Only thing I'm doing is practicing with it. But other than that, I highly recommend getting these pistols. I will do an AR. I'm gonna do a review on my AR 556 and later my PTR. I got a lot of since Hillary got defeated by Trump. I don't have to worry about firearms about any bans anytime soon. But however, I'm going to keep my cautious eye on Trump because he also had a history of banning fire. He's also been anti-gun, so he might have changed, but we don't know. Like I said, politicians pander to people and try to get votes, and later they change their mind and do other things. So, yeah. But like I said, highly recommend pistols. And also, before anybody say, "Well, how come you don't have a Glock or anything?" Well, I'm gonna get a Glock anyway in the near future. I'm not really too much of a Glock person, but I'm gonna get one anyway. Glock 19 and Glock 17 eventually. But yeah, but these are pretty much. I really like the Springfield series pistols. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Hope you guys like this video. And also, if you're wondering what the book was called, I'll show it to you. It's called Jane's Infantry Weapons of 2008-2009. It's a highly recommended book, but the problem is they're extremely expensive. You're gonna be paying over $1,000 some dollars for the book. Though this is an older version, so you're gonna be paying lesser than retail price, probably around, but it's still quite expensive. It's probably get it to like $350 to $500. But yeah, it has pistols. It goes up to submachine guns, bazookas, anti-material rifles, and battle rifles, submachine guns, sniper rifles, anything you want. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this video short. Hope you guys like it. See ya.